say you found the perfect cosplay.
Whoa, I found my epic cosplay. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
But you can't find any tutorials online. And you're having a hard time making your cosplay props.
Oh man, what is this, man? Darn, if there was only a way to make patterns, man, that's, workable.
But no worries, there is a solution.
Don't worry, man, I'm here to help. I'm IBlue Cosplay, and I'm here to teach you about making patterns for armor and props. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how do you do it? How do you make these patterns? How do you make these free-handed patterns and get everything put together, right? How do you do it? Well, I'm here to teach you and show you today how to get it all done. First, we're gonna need some tools and supplies. So, mark this down. So first you need aluminum foil, some plastic wrap, some duct tape, and maybe this ruler, maybe, and a Sharpie right here, boom, 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 boom. Or any kind of marking thingamajigger. But let's not forget we need also scissors, some pins to put onto the pattern to the foam, and a lovely set of tissue paper. You need some of this to help bump up your patterns when you're making stuff in 3D. So, fluffy stuff. So what are patterns? Patterns are like the 3D blueprint for all of the armor and all of the props and all the things you want to make come into fullization. You want to make it work, you want to make it happen, but you're like, alright, I need a plan, I need a strategy to make all of this armor. So we need patterns in order to do that. So let's go ahead and get into making patterns. So, the thing about humans is we're 3D most of the time. So, we have different shapes, we have different curves and different ends. And sometimes it's hard to figure out, okay, well, I need to measure this much, but then my bigger arm is on this end. So, how we're going to do this, to fit my whole entire body? And of course, think about the thickness of the foam itself. So, you're like, okay, I need to figure out a couple of things, but it's not going to be as hard as you think it is. So we're going to do it a little easy by simply going for something very simple, the shoulders. So this is like a little round shoulder. You're like, how am I going to do shoulders, man, right? We get foil, right? We have our shoulder. It's all 3D roundness. We say, bam, crunch it in. And guess what? The foil itself, foam, I guess we call it. I guess you wouldn't call it. It's forming itself, but I guess it would be. Crazy 3D shapes. You're like, wow, what's going on here? It's forming itself around the object. So you use the foil to kind of wrap around whatever it is you're making armor for, and then boom, now you have some kind of roundish shape going on, right? But it doesn't stop from there. We gotta get some tape in order to solidify or make sure this doesn't bend out of shape when you start laying on foam, because if you just lay it on some simple foam, well, this is what happens. And, well, you lose your shape. So you need something to hold it down, or hold the pattern down. So we're going to go ahead and get some tape on there, and then we'll have our shape back again. So let's go to it. Let's get into it. Alright. Shape. Alright. Got my shape down. Alright. Got some tape down. Alright. Now we're on our shoulder again. I'll take some of that tape and lightly put it onto the foil. And just slightly push onto it. Like just kind of marinating it, right? Alright. So now it's starting to form that 3D round shape, right? But it's keeping it in place so it doesn't go everywhere when you put it on foam. So let's keep on going with that. But yeah, now we got our shape down. Whoa, very cool. We need to touch on the top end. Let's go and do that. Now we got our little round shape. You don't mess around with it. It's gonna stay the same. Alright, sweet. Now, what do we do next, right? So, we say, okay, well, I don't need all of this extra stuff, so start marking your details. Say, alright, well, I want something, right here. Just draw around, little things like that. It's like, alright, you can also straighten all your details when you have your ruler. So you're like, alright, I don't want to be too messy. I want to get my rulers out and be like, alright, I want to make a good straight line. I'm like, alright, my arm's going to be right here. It's going to have a straight line. Okay, good. Alright. You can also do your details later on, but we're going to do our cutting to make the shape that we want to put onto the foam. So this is kind of like prerequisite or pre-cutting stage. We're just like, okay, we need to see how much we need and then cut the unnecessary mess out of the way. So let's see, look at that, boom. We have our 3D shape. Let's go ahead and cut it through. Scissors, simple standard. I usually like titanium scissors because they don't need sharpening too much, so it's always a good time with these type of scissors. Look at that, sweet. Well, this is a 3D shape, but you put it on foam and you're like, oh, my foam is not 3D shaped. But there are things you can do. These little areas where it's like so bumpy, you want to cut down the bumpy areas to make it flat. So idea is to take this and make it a flat surface. So you say, alright, let's start with the middle, right? So we take a little cut, we say we're going to cut down this middle area. Now this middle area should be where everything gets flat. So that's our theory. So let's see what happens. And the more practice you do, the more you understand what's going to flatten certain round edges or round 3D shapes. So I'm saying, okay, time to cut that. Let's see if we can get that shape flat. Alright, we're getting there. It's almost there. There's still that roundness in the top end right here, so you're like, okay, let me go a little further. So you take a little cut, say, alright, I think that might be it. Let's see. So now it's almost like little pants right now, but so you're like, okay. Now you see that there's that round cut right there that we were talking about earlier or previously in my videos. Oh, look, it's right there instantly. A round cut right there. So now, let's put this together, right? Let's put this on foam. Our nice little curved round shape, like that. Here we got our foam right here, simple foam. And we also got our shape. Boom, okay. Let's mark it down, right? So we have our foam shape right here. And we're like, all right, it's time to mark it down. So, just like tracing method, well, this is the tracing method. So, what we're gonna do is take our pattern and we're gonna trace it using our black marker. Since this is a light EVA foam surface, let's go and do that. So you mark it down, right, get to the point. Sometimes these points are hard to mark right there, so you just kind of have to dig in a little bit. Now, if you do have difficulty with having the pattern down, you can, using those little pins. I'm not sure you can see that. Anyway, so there's the pins, and sometimes you gotta put the pins down. You know, these little pin parts right here. And then get that and just pin them on there to keep them in place, because a lot of times these patterns like to move around a lot, so you're like, all right, let me put these pins down, so when I move my hand, boom, I don't have to worry about the shape going everywhere, and then you have ununiform shapes when you're making doubles of this. All right, looks like we got our pattern down. Take that apart, and voila! We now have a pattern. Man, that's great. Then we have to cut this, right? So let's go get a cutter, right? So, of course, I like to use any kind of knife, but I like using utility knives and X-Acto knives for foam mostly. Usually, you can also use scissors. One thing to note, if you don't have any X-Acto knives, but like I said, most of the time, I want to stick with X-Actos. So, go. Now when you're cutting, make sure you're cutting within the shape, not outside the shape. If you cut outside the shape, you'll get a larger shape because we're basically trying to connect the part. We're trying to cut this shape, not the outer end. We're just trying to cut the inside of your marking, not the outside. That can get really messy right there. Let's see. And voila! Now we have our pattern, right? This is great, great news, yay! So, next thing is we glue this piece together. So, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now I got my barge cement onto the foam. So let's go ahead and connect these together. This little end part right here. Alright, curving, let's see, line it up. Sometimes you use your under finger to make sure that that it's all lining up correctly when you're pushing them together. And look at that! Let's make sure it's in there. Yeah. Now you have your identical shape. Boom! Look at that. Of course, you can heat it up with foam to make it even more curvy. But yeah, there you go. Let's look at the pattern right here. So, boom. Now we have a pattern shape right there. Boom, isn't that nice? And of course, if we flip this around, we can do this for the opposite side of your body if you're doing two pieces. So like, alright, piece right here, piece on the other end. So yeah, this is one method of making your patterns.
Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, you can like, share, subscribe to this channel.